Gautama Buddha's profound words, "You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection," serve as a timeless reminder of the delicate balance between altruism and self-care. While extending assistance to others is undoubtedly commendable, it's imperative not to overlook the potential repercussions of neglecting our own well-being in the process. Today, we embark on an exploration of a topic often glorified but seldom scrutinized: the act of helping others. In a world that celebrates kindness and praises altruism, it's easy to overlook the shadows cast by the constant extension of a helping hand. Join us as we unveil the lesser illuminated aspects of aiding others, shedding light on 13 surprising ways it can inadvertently cause harm. Let's dive in. Number 1. The Martyr Syndrome. Have you ever found yourself consistently prioritizing the needs of others above your own? If so, you may be familiar with the phenomenon known as the Martyr Syndrome. This psychological pattern unfolds when individuals sacrifice their own well-being for the sake of others, often to the detriment of their mental and emotional health. The toll of the Martyr Syndrome is substantial, depleting emotional reserves and nurturing feelings of inadequacy. Despite Gautama Buddha's wisdom that emphasizes self-love and self-care, individuals afflicted by the Martyr Syndrome struggle to internalize this fundamental truth. While self-sacrifice may seem noble in theory, it can pave the path to burnout and resentment. Picture this scenario. You're constantly juggling the needs of family, friends, and colleagues, neglecting your own self-care in the process. Over time, this cycle erodes your well-being, leaving you emotionally drained. Paradoxically, the relentless pursuit of rescuing others may breed resentment, both towards those you're helping and towards yourself. In essence, the Martyr Syndrome is a double-edged sword. While it may earn admiration from those around us, it often exacts a toll on our mental and emotional health. Therefore, the next time you feel compelled to sacrifice your well-being for others, recall Gautama Buddha's words, "You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection." It's permissible to prioritize yourself occasionally, recognizing that you cannot pour from an empty cup. However, the repercussions of neglecting one's well-being extend beyond the confines of the Martyr Syndrome. In the pursuit of helping others, individuals may inadvertently overlook their own needs, leading to a myriad of adverse consequences, from psychological tolls to strained relationships. The act of extending a helping hand can sometimes exact a heavy toll. Consider the psychological toll of constantly prioritizing others over oneself. While it may seem altruistic, this pattern of behavior can deplete emotional reserves and fuel feelings of inadequacy. Despite efforts to offer support and assistance, helpers may find themselves grappling with their own emotional turmoil, exacerbated by neglecting their own well-being. In the long run, this can lead to burnout, resentment, and a sense of disillusionment. Moreover, the act of helping others can strain personal relationships, often in subtle yet profound ways. Whether it's neglecting quality time with loved ones, or feeling emotionally drained after constantly offering support, the relentless focus on aiding others can create distance and resentment within relationships. Over time, this can erode the foundation of trust and intimacy, leaving individuals feeling isolated and disconnected from those they care about most. Furthermore, the act of helping others can sometimes enable harmful behavior, perpetuating cycles of dependency and enabling destructive patterns. Whether it's providing financial assistance without accountability or turning a blind eye to unhealthy habits, helpers may inadvertently reinforce negative behaviors rather than facilitating positive change. In doing so, they may unwittingly contribute to the perpetuation of harmful cycles, ultimately hindering rather than helping those in need. In essence, while helping others is undoubtedly a noble endeavor, it's essential to approach it with mindfulness and self-awareness. By prioritizing self-care, setting healthy boundaries, and fostering resilience, helpers can ensure that their efforts to aid others are both effective and sustainable in the long run. After all, true assistance begins with taking care of oneself first, recognizing that only by nurturing our own well-being can we truly show up for others in a meaningful and sustainable way. Number 2, dependency issues. Have you ever observed that sometimes the more assistance you provide to someone, the more they seem to rely on you? This phenomenon underscores a critical aspect of aiding others, the potential for dependency issues to emerge. Despite our altruistic intentions, excessive assistance can inadvertently cultivate a sense of dependency in those we seek to support, ultimately impeding their growth and self-reliance. From a psychological perspective, dependency can develop when individuals become habituated to receiving aid for even the most trivial tasks. Gradually, they may come to depend on others to address their problems or fulfill their needs, rather than cultivating the skills and resilience necessary to handle challenges autonomously. This pattern can be particularly detrimental in situations where individuals possess the capability to address obstacles independently, but opt not to do so due to the availability of external support. Illustrative real-life scenarios abound to exemplify the repercussions of fostering dependency through excessive aid. Take, for instance, the scenario of a parent who habitually intervenes to rescue their child from minor setbacks, such as forgotten homework or disagreements with peers. While the parent's motives may revolve around shielding their child from adversity, unwittingly, they deprive them of the opportunity to learn from their mistakes and develop problem-solving acumen. Similarly, in professional settings, managers who excessively micromanage their subordinates may inadvertently stifle creativity and initiative, leading to a team overly reliant on directives rather than taking ownership of their responsibilities. Ultimately, dependency issues can perpetuate a cycle of learned helplessness, where individuals come to believe they're incapable of surmounting challenges without external assistance. For helpers, striking a delicate balance between offering aid and fostering independence is imperative. Authentic empowerment stems from equipping others with the tools and confidence to navigate life's obstacles autonomously. Number 3, emotional drain. While extending a compassionate ear and providing support during times of distress is unquestionably commendable, it's essential to acknowledge the potential emotional drain inherent in this act of empathy. When we absorb the burdens and traumas of others without establishing firm boundaries, we subject ourselves to a profound emotional toll that can jeopardize our well-being. Imagine continually bearing the weight of others' burdens, internalizing their pain and suffering as if it were your own. Over time, this emotional labor can become overwhelming, resulting in feelings of exhaustion, burnout, and compassion fatigue. Without adequate boundaries, helpers risk emotional depletion, leaving scant room for their own needs and self-care. Recognizing the significance of self-care and emotional resilience, is paramount in the context of assisting others. Analogous to flight attendants instructing passengers to secure their own oxygen masks before aiding others, helpers must prioritize their well-being. Engaging in activities that revitalize and rejuvenate us, such as immersing ourselves in nature, non-practicing mindfulness, or seeking solace from friends and loved ones, is indispensable for preserving emotional equilibrium. Furthermore, fostering emotional resilience is pivotal to navigating the inevitable challenges and setbacks that accompany aiding others. This resilience empowers us to rebound from adversity, establish healthy boundaries, and discern when it's imperative to prioritize our own needs. By nurturing emotional resilience, helpers can continue extending support to others without compromising their mental and emotional health. In essence, while aiding others can be immensely fulfilling, it necessitates a mindful and self-aware approach. By delineating boundaries, practicing self-care, and fostering emotional resilience, helpers can perpetuate their positive impact while safeguarding their own well-being. After all, only by tending to our own needs can we authentically support others in a sustainable and meaningful manner. Number 4, enabling destructive behavior. Unintentionally enabling destructive behavior is a common pitfall, often arising from our desire to be supportive, but inadvertently reinforcing negative patterns instead of fostering positive change. Consider the scenario of a friend grappling with addiction. Out of genuine concern, we may extend financial assistance, offer a sympathetic ear, or justify their actions. Despite our compassionate intentions, these actions may inadvertently perpetuate harmful behavior by shielding individuals from the consequences of their actions. Without facing the full repercussions of their choices, individuals may lack the impetus to seek help or initiate meaningful changes in their lives. Maintaining a delicate balance between support and accountability is essential when aiding others in navigating challenging circumstances. While it's crucial to offer empathy and understanding, it's equally vital to hold individuals accountable for their actions and encourage them to take ownership of their well-being. This may entail setting firm boundaries, providing constructive feedback, or gently guiding them towards resources and support networks conducive to positive transformation. By striking this equilibrium between support and accountability, helpers empower individuals to break free from destructive patterns and assume responsibility for their lives. It's about recognizing that genuine assistance often necessitates challenging and confronting, rather than enabling and condoning. In doing so, we lay the groundwork for authentic growth and self-empowerment, enabling individuals to reclaim agency over their decisions and forge a path towards a healthier, more fulfilling future. Number 5, identity erosion. In the noble pursuit of aiding others, it's common to lose sight of our own identities. As we immerse ourselves deeply in the needs and challenges of those we support, our own sense of self may gradually recede into the background, overshadowed by the roles of caregiver, confidant, or rescuer. Imagine a scenario where our daily lives revolve around tending to the needs of others, whether it entails offering a compassionate ear to a friend in crisis or dedicating countless hours to volunteer endeavors. While these acts of kindness are undoubtedly commendable, they can exact a personal toll, the gradual erosion of our own identity over time. We may find ourselves defined more by our roles as helpers than by our own interests, passions, and aspirations. Preserving personal boundaries and nurturing hobbies becomes imperative in safeguarding against this loss of identity that often accompanies aiding others. Allocating time for activities that bring us joy and fulfillment serves as a reminder that we are multifaceted individuals with unique dreams and aspirations. Whether it involves painting, hiking, or playing music, engaging in hobbies allows us to reconnect with ourselves and invigorate our spirits. Moreover, establishing clear boundaries is essential for maintaining our sense of self amidst the act of helping others. By delineating when and how we're available to offer assistance, we create space for our own needs and priorities. This might entail setting limits on the amount of time dedicated to helping others, or respectfully declining requests for assistance when we're feeling overwhelmed or depleted. In essence, while aiding others is undoubtedly a noble pursuit, it's imperative to ensure that we don't forfeit our own identity in the process. By upholding personal boundaries and engaging in activities that nurture our sense of self, we can continue to extend support to others authentically and confidently. Ultimately, it's by honoring our own needs that we can genuinely be there for others in a meaningful and enduring manner. Number 6. Financial strain. In the landscape of altruism, an often underestimated facet is the potential financial strain that can accompany assisting others. Despite our well-meaning intentions, consistently providing financial support to others can have ramifications that extend far beyond mere numbers on a balance sheet. Consider the scenario of continuously extending loans to friends or family members in need. While our initial instinct may be to offer aid without hesitation, it's imperative to recognize the long-term implications of this generosity. Over time, the cumulative effect of these financial contributions can accrue, potentially jeopardizing our own financial stability and future security. Moreover, the perpetual role of serving as a financial safety net for others can engender a sense of obligation and burden. We may find ourselves sacrificing our own financial aspirations and goals to meet the needs of those we're assisting, ultimately eroding our sense of control over our financial situation. Establishing robust financial boundaries becomes paramount in mitigating the risks of financial strain when aiding others. This involves delineating clear guidelines for when and how we're willing to offer financial assistance, as well as transparently communicating these boundaries with all parties involved. Learning to gracefully decline requests for financial support when we're unable or unwilling to provide it is equally pivotal, even if it entails discomfort in the moment. By setting healthy financial boundaries and mastering the art of saying no when necessary, we can ensure that our altruistic endeavors don't come at the expense of our own financial well-being. True assistance transcends mere monetary aid. It's about empowering others to cultivate self-reliance and resilience in the face of adversity. Sometimes, the most profound gift we can bestow is the encouragement and support for individuals to stand tall on their own feet. Number 7. Neglecting personal well-being. It's a common narrative to overlook our own needs in the pursuit of helping others. Whether it's dedicating extensive hours to supporting a friend in crisis or consistently prioritizing the needs of others above our own, this altruism can harbor a significant drawback: the neglect of our own vital self-care. Envision a scenario where we find ourselves incessantly on call, tending to the demands of those around us while sidelining our own physical, emotional, and mental health. Over time, this habitual pattern of behavior exacts a toll, leaving us feeling depleted, fatigued, and emotionally drained. Placing the needs of others before our own can precipitate the oversight of essential self-care practices, such as ensuring adequate sleep, maintaining a balanced diet, and engaging in regular physical activity. Without these foundational pillars of self-nourishment, we become increasingly susceptible to stress, illness, and emotional exhaustion. Implementing strategies to prioritize personal well-being while concurrently extending aid to others is pivotal for maintaining a harmonious equilibrium. This may entail carving out dedicated time each day for self-care rituals like meditation, journaling, or communing with nature. It could also involve erecting firm boundaries around our availability and willingness to offer assistance, thereby safeguarding time and space to tend to our own needs. Furthermore, fostering self-compassion and recognizing the value of our own well-being are paramount in this endeavor. Just as we extend empathy and understanding to a friend in need, we must cultivate the same kindness and compassion towards ourselves. By prioritizing personal well-being, we not only replenish our own reservoirs, but also enhance our capacity to extend genuine support and aid to others. In essence, while the act of helping others is undoubtedly commendable, it's imperative to acknowledge that we cannot pour from an empty vessel. By prioritizing our own needs and embracing self-care, we ensure that our inclination to assist others emanates from a place of abundance rather than depletion. Ultimately, it's only by nurturing ourselves that we can authentically and sustainably show up for others in a meaningful manner. Number 8. Dealing with resentment and bitterness. In the realm of aiding others, there exists a lurking danger that often goes unnoticed: the gradual accumulation of resentment and bitterness. Despite our noble intentions, these emotions can silently take root, especially when our efforts to help go unreciprocated or unappreciated. Imagine this scenario. You've dedicated countless hours and resources to supporting a friend through a challenging period, only to feel unacknowledged and undervalued for your contributions. Over time, these feelings of resentment can fester, corroding the trust and goodwill that once formed the foundation of the relationship. Resentment towards those we've assisted can be particularly potent when our assistance isn't met with gratitude or reciprocation. Whether it's a lack of acknowledgement, a failure to recognize our efforts, or a refusal to offer support when we're in need, such perceived slights can fuel feelings of bitterness and disillusionment. Addressing and managing feelings of resentment is essential for safeguarding our well-being and nurturing healthy relationships. One approach involves cultivating empathy and striving to understand the perspectives and circumstances of those we harbor resentment towards. By recognizing that their actions may be influenced by their own struggles and limitations, we can foster compassion and forgiveness, alleviating the burden of resentment. Additionally, establishing clear boundaries and openly communicating our needs and expectations can help prevent the buildup of resentment in the first place. By articulating our boundaries and expectations within relationships, we establish a framework for mutual respect and understanding, reducing the likelihood of unmet expectations and perceived injustices. Ultimately, addressing and managing feelings of resentment requires a willingness to confront uncomfortable emotions and engage in candid communication. Whether through journaling, therapy, or open dialogue with the parties involved, proactively addressing resentment can pave the way for healing and reconciliation. By acknowledging and processing our feelings in healthy ways, we can release the grip of bitterness and reclaim a sense of peace and emotional well-being. Number 9. Impact on personal relationships. The activating others can exert a significant strain on personal relationships, often in subtle yet profound ways. Despite our compassionate intentions, the relentless focus on meeting the needs of others can leave little room for nurturing our own connections and bonds. Picture a scenario where a partner dedicates the majority of their time and energy to assisting friends or colleagues, leaving their significant other feeling neglected and undervalued. Despite their genuine efforts to be supportive, the imbalance in attention and priorities can sow seeds of resentment and dissatisfaction within the relationship. Furthermore, consistently assisting others can create a dynamic where our relationships take on a transactional nature, revolving around the exchange of assistance and support rather than genuine intimacy and connection. This can lead to feelings of disconnection and isolation as the depth and authenticity of our relationships are overshadowed by the roles of caregiver or rescuer. Implementing strategies to maintain healthy boundaries within relationships is crucial to mitigate the impact of perpetual assistance. This might involve carving out dedicated time for quality interactions with loved ones, free from distractions or external obligations. Additionally, open and honest communication about our needs and priorities fosters a sense of mutual understanding and respect. Moreover, cultivating empathy and compassion within our relationships bridges the gap between our desire to aid others and our commitment to nurturing meaningful connections. Actively listening to the needs and concerns of our loved ones creates a supportive environment where everyone feels seen, heard, and valued. In essence, while assisting others is undoubtedly admirable, it's vital to acknowledge the potential toll it can take on personal relationships. Prioritizing healthy boundaries, transparent communication, and mutual respect ensures that our desire to aid others does not compromise our own well-beings and connection with loved ones. Ultimately, the most profound support we can offer often resides within the context of genuine, nurturing relationships. Number 10. Dealing with compassion fatigue. Compassion, while undoubtedly noble and essential, can sometimes lead to an unforeseen consequence: compassion fatigue. This phenomenon arises from prolonged exposure to the suffering and trauma of others, resulting in emotional and physical exhaustion for those who offer support. Despite their sincere intent to alleviate suffering, their capacity for empathy and compassion becomes depleted over time, leaving them drained, overwhelmed, and emotionally numb. Visualize a healthcare worker dedicating long hours to caring for patients in distress, or a social worker repeatedly absorbing harrowing stories of abuse and trauma. While their aim is to provide support and comfort, the relentless exposure to others' pain can severely impact their own well-being. Strategies for combating compassion fatigue and fostering resilience are paramount in mitigating its effects on helpers. Practicing self-care rituals that replenish emotional reserves, such as meditation, exercise, or spending time in nature, is essential. Seeking support from peers, mentors, or mental health professionals offers a vital lifeline for helpers struggling with compassion fatigue, providing solace, validation, and guidance. Setting healthy boundaries and practicing self-compassion are also vital in preserving well-being amidst compassion fatigue. Recognizing personal limits and learning to say no when necessary prioritizes self-care and prevents burnout. Similarly, extending kindness and understanding to oneself fosters resilience in the face of adversity. In essence, while compassion fatigue may be an occupational hazard for helpers, it's not insurmountable. By implementing self-care strategies, seeking support, and practicing self-compassion, helpers can navigate the challenges of compassion fatigue with resilience, ensuring they can continue offering support in a sustainable and meaningful manner. Number 11. Managing expectations. In the realm of assisting others, an unspoken pressure often looms, urging us to be constantly available and helpful, regardless of the personal cost. This pressure breeds unrealistic expectations from both those we aid and ourselves. Whether it entails responding to messages round the clock or consistently prioritizing others' needs over our own, these expectations form a vicious cycle of stress and burnout that's challenging to escape. Consider a scenario where a friend or family member relies solely on us for support and guidance, expecting us to drop everything at a moment's notice. Despite our initial inclination to accommodate these demands out of goodwill, the incessant pressure to always be accessible can swiftly become overwhelming. Navigating the landscape of unrealistic expectations requires setting boundaries and managing anticipations effectively. This entails openly and assertively communicating our availability and constraints, establishing clear parameters for when and how we offer assistance. By setting boundaries that honor our own needs and priorities, we establish a foundation for nurturing and enduring relationships. Furthermore, managing expectations demands a level of self-awareness and self-advocacy. It necessitates acknowledging our limits and asserting our right to prioritize our well-being, even if it means disappointing others or establishing boundaries that may appear selfish or unhelpful. By reframing our perception of what constitutes helpfulness, we challenge the unrealistic expectations society places on helpers and reclaim control over our lives. In essence, while societal norms may ingrain the notion of always being available and helpful, it's crucial to acknowledge its toll on our well-being. By setting realistic boundaries, managing expectations, and advocating for ourselves, we cultivate a healthier and more sustainable approach to assisting others, one that acknowledges and respects our own needs and priorities while still extending support and aid to those in need. Number 12. Prioritizing self-care. In the noble endeavor of aiding others, it's all too common to overlook our own needs and well-being. Whether it entails dedicating extended hours to attend to the needs of friends, family, or colleagues, the relentless focus on assisting others often leaves little time or energy for self-care. Imagine consistently prioritizing others' needs above our own, neglecting essential self-care practices such as sufficient sleep, nutritious eating, or taking breaks for rejuvenation. Over time, this neglect exacts a toll on our physical, emotional, and mental health, leading to exhaustion, burnout, and reduced resilience. The significance of self-compassion and self-care practices cannot be overstated in the context of helping others. Just as we extend empathy and understanding to a friend in distress, it's imperative to extend the same compassion and kindness to ourselves. This entails recognizing our limits, establishing realistic boundaries, and prioritizing our well-being. Self-care takes various forms, whether it involves dedicating time to activities that bring us joy and relaxation, engaging in mindfulness and meditation, or seeking support from our social circle or mental health professionals. By making self-care a priority, we replenish our emotional reserves, bolster our resilience, and ensure that we can continue offering support and aid to others in a sustainable and meaningful manner. In essence, while aiding others is undoubtedly noble, it's vital to remember that we cannot give from an empty vessel. By prioritizing self-compassion and self-care, we not only safeguard our well-being, but also enhance our ability to make a positive impact in the lives of others. Ultimately, genuine assistance begins with caring for ourselves first. Number 13, ignoring warning signs. When our focus is on assisting others, it's common to miss warning signs or red flags in their behavior. Whether we brush off concerning patterns as isolated incidents or minimize the seriousness of the situation, our eagerness to provide support can sometimes blind us to unfolding realities. Consider a scenario where a friend consistently excuses their partner's controlling behavior, attributing it to stress or temporary relationship difficulties. Despite accumulating evidence of manipulation or abuse, they persist in overlooking the warning signs, convinced they can help their partner change or improve. In such instances, our well-meaning efforts to assist may inadvertently allow harmful behavior to persist unchecked. Strategies for recognizing and addressing warning signs without compromising our own well-being are crucial in navigating these intricate situations. One strategy involves cultivating self-awareness and heeding our intuition and instincts. If something feels amiss or doesn't sit well, it's vital to trust our instincts and delve deeper rather than dismissing or ignoring our concerns. Furthermore, maintaining open and honest communication with the individual we're supporting is vital in effectively addressing warning signs. This could entail expressing concerns in a non-judgmental and empathetic manner, offering support and encouragement for seeking help or making positive changes. By approaching the situation with empathy, we create a safe environment for the individual to openly share their experiences and concerns without fear of judgment. Seeking guidance from trusted friends, family members, or professionals can also provide invaluable perspectives and advice in recognizing and addressing warning signs. Consulting with others who may offer different viewpoints or expertise allows us to gain insights and develop a fuller understanding of the situation. In essence, while aiding others is commendable, it's crucial to remain vigilant and attentive to warning signs or red flags that may indicate underlying issues. By fostering self-awareness, maintaining open communication, and seeking support when necessary, we can navigate these complexities with compassion and integrity, ensuring our assistance is effective and sustainable in the long term. Conclusion. To conclude, while helping others is undoubtedly noble, it's vital to acknowledge the potential challenges and pitfalls that may arise. From the risk of burnout and compassion fatigue, to the peril of enabling harmful behavior and overlooking warning signs, the journey of assisting others requires mindful navigation and self-awareness.